Hello and welcome to the Guru Show. My name is Neal Zecca and welcome back to today's video. And after the shocking statement-making announcement yesterday that Chelsea have agreed a deal to sign Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa, I thought it'd be best to come on here today and talk about how I feel it will affect our squad going into next season, how I feel it will play a factor in what happens with Enzo Fernandez, and why I feel that it is such a big move for Chelsea, not only on the pitch, but also off the pitch as well. So first, let's get into it. As I said at the start of the video, Chelsea agreed yesterday to sign Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa for 117 million quid. Obviously a massive fee, but what I will say is it was Arsenal's number one target. So to be able to pull a player of that sort of stature away from the champions without Champions League football does show pretty much what Chelsea's DNA is, and that we are still a big draw. And so going into the first thing I want to talk about is obviously, will it affect Enzo Fernandez? A bit of a backstory, as we all probably know by now. Enzo Fernandez has pretty much flirted with Real Madrid since the end of last season, pretty much through the World Cup. His agent has been out there talking about it, how he wants to play for Real Madrid. Then Madrid did come out and basically say that no, we're not in for him. Chelsea obviously got a big fee on him, around about 120 million quid. And, it's pretty much gone from there. And I do feel that, the signing of Morgan Rogers does put a little bit more implication on what's going to happen with Enzo. As we know, Xabi Alonso, he does like to use two number 10s. I'm pretty certain that one of them will be Cole Palmer. And a lot of people have speculated that what will happen now is that Enzo will leave. Atletico Madrid are apparently in for him for 120 million quid. And then obviously that Morgan Rogers has been bought as the replacement. But for me, and there's also another story going around as well that he will be brought into play over on the left-hand side. Obviously, we've had some real bad luck with the players that we've bought recently. Jeremy Gittins only played half of a season last year and weren't really that impressive in that half a season he did play. And then Garnacho, what can you say? He's put some absolute stinkers in since arriving from Manchester United, and apparently it is on the market now to be sold. So obviously the left-hand side is a problem, and that could be what Morgan Rogers has been brought in to do, and he will play over on the left-hand side, which also does mean that Enzo Fernandez would stick in the team as that second number 10. I think with Enzo at the moment, he's made it very obvious that he wants to play Champions League football, and not him personally, although I feel that he hasn't really helped the situation by not coming out and trying to calm the situation, but with his agent being the way that it is, it's pretty toxic at the moment in terms of the fact that it's pretty known that he doesn't want to stay at Chelsea. And how will that affect going into next season? Xabi Alonso has come out and pretty much said that he is part of the plans. He wants him to stay. And me personally, I would love him to stay as well, because whatever you say about Enzo, when there is always that performance in him there, it's just not that great. But there is also, on the flip side, he is a crunch player. He does score in big games, and he's showing that at the World Cup. And I think he's pretty much doing himself, if he does want to move away, he's doing himself all the favours in the world, because he is having a very good World Cup. He's scoring some big goals, and it's going to be interesting just to see what happens with that. But as Chelsea, he's on a big contract in terms of how long he has to stay for, so Chelsea's in a very strong position that they do not have to sell him. Me personally, I would not sell him, and I'd like to believe the rumour going around that Morgan Rogers is being bought to play over on the left-hand side, and obviously cutting in, and he can fill multiple positions. So I don't think it necessarily means Enzo is 100% going. But, if he is being brought into play as a number 10, then we could pretty much say that he is going. For me, I think the Chelsea team is a lot better with Enzo Fernandez in it. Caicedo, Morgan Rogers over on the left-hand side definitely is my preferred option. But if it means Enzo goes, the thing is, Chelsea have obviously spent a lot of money on him. And there's all the talk about going around about the lack of money that we got, the financial problems that we're in. People are seeming to forget that we are selling players as well. We got 50 million quid for Santos. Tyreek George is left as well. So we are bringing in money, and there's still more players to go. I think either Jackson or Delap will go. I think obviously as well, you got the likes of Garnacho that will leave. Gusto potentially could go as well. Apparently Enzo Maresca wants him at City. And apparently the fee going around for that is 75 million quid. And if Chelsea can get that from Malo Gusto, I would absolutely snap whoever wants to pay its hands off. So for me, there is going to be money brought into the club. I don't think this is going to be the only big signing we do. I think there's going to be definitely Lacroix coming in from Crystal Palace. I could definitely see that happening. A big Premier League proven player that could come in and play alongside Levi Colwill. So I think there is positions that we need to prioritise. I'm happy we got Rodgers. Mainly down to the fact, when I'll go into it now, is that it's a statement signing. Whichever way you want to look at it, I've always been a fan in terms of we've been, ever since we started spending big money under Roma, and you look at the Torres deals, the other sort of deals, the Lukaku, the second time round deals. I've always been under the assumption that it's not my money, so I don't really give a fuck, really, if I'm honest. Obviously, the only thing I will say is that when a player is bought for that sort of money, it obviously puts a hell of a lot of pressure on them. And I think that hopefully, from what we've seen from Rodgers so far in his career, he does seem to handle pressure. He's a big player. He scored big goals for Aston Villa. And I don't think he's going to be the sort of player to crumble under that sort of pressure. I think also having players that he's been around for such a long time, like Cole Palmer, that obviously went through the City youth system together, I think that will obviously help as well. And I think it's going to be a very good signing for Chelsea. But like I said, not only on the pitch, I think off the pitch as well. I think it definitely shows that Chelsea still have that pull, even without Champions League football, even with finishing 10th in the league. I think the pull of Chelsea's history, the pull of Xabi Alonso and getting able to play under him, I think that it shows, and I think that it shows the statement of intent, and that's the reason why I think in every aspect it's a very, very good deal for Chelsea. And the fact that it was Arsenal's number one target, the Premier League champions, they got to the Champions League final, and we still was able to get their top target. It shows just the pulling power of Chelsea Football Club. I think it does have it could have implementations into Enzo Fernandez, but just because he's come in, it doesn't mean that 100% Enzo will go, because if he could be bought to play over on the left-hand side, I could definitely see that happening. And it's just an interesting time to be a Chelsea fan. The first pre-season game that's televised is next weekend, and it's going to be interesting just to see how we line up in that. And it's good. It's exciting, because of the fact of the matter as well is that we got Xabi Alonso. He's obviously a very talented manager. We got the squad that we got in terms of they're not going to have Champions League football next season. No European football at all. It's going to play a big factor, and I think we're going to have an exciting season from Chelsea. I really do. Cole Palmer looks sharp in all the videos I've seen in training. Esteval back and fit and raring to go, and the boy looks strong. From what I've seen, he looks like he's put on a bit of muscle, and he looks like he's going to be in for an exciting season. So, you don't want to get too carried away with yourself, especially with Chelsea over the past few years. But things do look like they're going in the right direction, and I honestly think that the signing of Morgan Rodgers on the pitch and off the pitch is a fantastic signing, and I just can't wait for this new season. I'm absolutely buzzing for it now. The World Cup finals tonight, Argentina versus Spain. Hopefully Spain win. Just for the memes we're going to get from Cucurella, really. Obviously, disappointed to see him go. I think whenever you let a world-class player go, it is bad. But, we got a good fee for him. He wanted to go. He wanted to play Champions League football. He wanted to return to Spain. So you kind of understand it. But let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to like, favourite, comment and subscribe. I will be making more consistent videos throughout the next season. More transfer videos coming throughout the coming weeks. And just let me know your thoughts on Rodgers. Is it going to be a hit? Is it going to be a miss? And thanks for watching. Make sure to like, favourite, comment and subscribe. I will speak to you all again soon. See you later.